The world of information technology has evolved rapidly throughout all of human history, though the information itself, an infinitely diverse combination of ones and zeros, has always been the same. The only thing changing is man's ability to interpret it for different applications. If you think that the computer is something from the 20th century United States, you need to do more research like we have unfortunately been forced to. The first computer systems were actually made by the Greek and Incan societies and were used for astrology and resource management. The Greeks used a system of 37 gears to chart the positions of celestial bodies, but as the system was bulky and impractical, no further attempts were made by the Greek society to make better computers. The Inca, on the other hand, found practical uses for their computers, which were large systems of ropes and pulleys that used knots to imitate binary systems, and were used to calculate difficult math problems. In the 1950s, a more modern computer was being born. The IAS machine was a weak, room-sized computer with computation power that, being compared to today's computers, is like to the engine of a Mustang versus the engine of a dustbuster. The IAS machine used now antiquated vacuum tubes, among other things, to process and store information in the same machine, and were able to make addition and subtraction calculations in approximately 80 microseconds, compared to 700 for multiplication. Skip to the other half of the world, to the Far East, specifically India. India received its first computers from the Soviet Union and quickly advanced in technology to a place second only to the United States and USSR. This quantum leap was in part due to Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. Through his hard work, he was able to turn India, a rather economically backwards country, into something resembling what it is today. Also responsible for the awakening of the sleeping giant is the CSI. Founded in 1965, the CSI spawned many skilled Indian computer workers, a lot of whom immigrated to the United States, settling in the now famous Silicon Valley.
Get up early when the sleeping pill wakes me. I take a wake-up pill to fill with energy. I power on hard and I check my messages, but I don't have any messages.
In present-day India, 40% of the country's GDP comes from its information technology exports and services. The growth is monumental, to come from being a backwards bumpkin country to one of the world's major economic players. The outsourcing is becoming so great that a French company known as Capgemini has reported figures of having more employees working in India than its own mother country. Intel, one of America's biggest computer science companies, also has a headquarters in India, as well as in many other countries. Therefore, India has a very large force concerning information technology. More threatening perhaps than India is China, however, considering that in 2005, China overtook the United States in total information and computer technology exports, even though we have the advantage, considering the number of Chinese characters in their very large keyboards. Most of this is due to the internet explosion that happened smack dab on the top of the 21st century. Though a sea of free information in a practically despotic country would be dangerous to the governmental structure, the sharing of information greatly increases the efficiency of one of the biggest countries on the planet. The evil overlords of Chinese society need not worry, however. One of the largest firewalls in history, as well as some dastardly censoring technique, keep the truth relatively skewed.